Welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Hey, tonight we're going to continue. You know about this, you know these 8 foot of 5mm steel rod, £1.50 from an old plate draining rack. Time to bend up a little bit of this now. Want to make a bit of a design, just to kind of bring a bit of a 3D design going on to this. Also got to weld some washers on the back to hold it off the surface of this inner steel so that it doesn't dish in when you bolt it up tight. So a few little bits to catch up with. Try and have a little bend up of some steel and see where we go. Okay, stay tuned, stick around, see what happens. Right, there we are. That's the two washers, or the two little stacks of washers welded so that when it's bolted on it doesn't pull in. It's not pretty, it's just tack, 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 but it's sheet metal. And as you can see, got some pretty good penetration there. So they're nicely penetrated through to the sheet without blowing holes. That's reasonably successful. It has just distorted it a little bit, but that's just going to be pushed back in into shape, which isn't difficult. Now, the next fun thing is to make a frame. I want to run a frame made out of this stuff around the outside to give it some strength. So that's the first one. I want to make the second and then start getting that connected. Okay, let's see how that goes. Just going around this now, tacking on a frame. Just getting the inside, keeping it nice and clear, but getting that penetration right the way through the steel without blowing holes in it. And here it is, ugly as you like now, but that's all getting ground back. Just tack, 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 tack. Just make a steel frame around it. That's going to give it some strength. There's the penetration on those washers as well. There's a lot of grinding to do, but it's better that it's solid and they can all be filled over afterwards. So let's keep going, see if we can make a good job of it. It's crap. Rubbish. Time for a clean up, I think. Getting a bit splattery, dude. This is a toss-up between enough power to melt the rod and not too much to blow holes in the steel, so it's a bit of trial and error, and I'm not a very good welder, as you can see, but we're having a go. Keep going. Alright, that just about covers the frame. That even sounds different. Clang. Much stronger and heftier piece of kit now. Just going to cool it off. Alright. That now is totally rigid. Jesus, that is so rigid. That doesn't move at all. So I spent about an hour and a half just welding around that. So what we've done, what we've got is got a good level of penetration around there. That's welded just about as well as I can do it, and it's so strong and so rigid now. That doesn't feel like a piece of sheet metal anymore. That feels like it's almost cast. That is so tough. And now the task is just to get the lap wheel on and dress a bit of that back. I'm just going to dress that at an angle, and then later on that will just get some filler in there just to make a nice chamfered edge, so it kind of looks like a chamfered edge when it's on the filter there. So it's going to give that a final just whiz round with the old cleaner, make a presentable job of it, and I think that might be it for tonight. So there we have it. That's been the last 3 or 4 hours. There it is. Just this little bit of 5mm wire welded around the outside has made this incredibly rigid now. It just doesn't want to move anywhere. It feels like a plate now and not like a little tin cover. So that's going to take its place. So a little trowel fit. It's quite a snug fit actually. That's quite nice. And then the bolts in there. These are the original bolts from the spam tin filter, which I won't be using. They're just for now. I shall pick probably some nice round heads, or maybe use some nice pike nuts. I don't know, anything. Something a bit different, or a flathead screw kind of thing. But there it is. That's Filter's cover so far. Still want to put a wire design on the outside of this, perhaps put some sheet over the wire to maybe make it a bit 3D, something a bit interesting, but just to get the structure of the thing right so far. Not sure I'm even going to cover this, just been looking into these are actually cloth, these filters, and they're okay in the rain to a degree. You can actually run, obviously torrential rain, they're going to get a little bit sodden, and that might cause your mixture to run a bit odd, but I only really ride the bike. I ride it every day, but you know, chucking it down with rain days, don't know, going to see, not sure. I kind of like seeing it, I kind of like it open. So this cover in this gap, a little bit of filler in this gap, so just finish that off so it's a nice chamfer and it'll be lovely and rigid. What I'm going to do on the outside yet, I don't know, just a couple of more sort of days at this I reckon, and I'll break the back of it. Got about 8 hours invested in it. It's just, say again, how long it takes to make these things, absolutely incredible. And when you buy one-off handmade parts, you see what sort of time and effort goes into them. So there you have it, one-handed. That's the story so far. That's all for now. Got to go in for now. Run out of time tonight. So thanks for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. See you next time.